Hi Crunchies! Today we are continuing our journey through the fermented Ks, kombucha, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and today we are highlighting a yummy fizzy drink you may have heard of, and it's called kombucha. Hello and welcome. My name is Lauren, for those of you who are new, and here at the Crunchy Catholics, we like to cultivate the pure and the true. So if that's something that you want to do, go ahead and click subscribe and join our crew. Don't forget to hit that bell notification icon too. All right, let's hop right to. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was in college, I had this huge test and I needed to study for this test, but I felt horrible. I had come down with the flu or something, and I think it was finals week or something. I had a study session with this girl, and I told her, hey, you can come to my house and we can study, but I'm really sick. I don't want to get you sick. And she said, oh, it's okay. I have this drink that I like to drink whenever I start feeling sick, and the cold goes away right away. And I was intrigued because this is before my healthy, crunchy days. And I'm like, what is this like witchcraft she's talking about? This is really weird. So I was a little nervous, but she brought over a kombucha from the store and she said, drink this, it'll change your life. You'll feel better. And I did. And she wasn't kidding. Like, I literally was fixed the next day. I was able to do my finals. And ever since that day, I fell in love with this fermented beverage. There's one problem though. It's like $5 a bottle. For a good thing of kombucha, you can get it cheaper, but it's pretty pricey. So I had to figure out how to make it myself. A little disclaimer here. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a doctor. I am not a food scientist, nada. So this is just me sharing what I do in our house. This is in no way me giving you health advice or telling you what you should do. So now that I've got that out of the way, I've been brewing my own kombucha since 2012, which is kind of crazy when I think about that now. 6 years of brewing kombucha. And what I use is a continuous brew system. So basically, you have this little disc. Some people call it a mushroom. It's called a Scoby, and that stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And it's alive. And you put this Scoby inside of your sweet tea. And what it does is it ferments the sweet tea, and the Scoby eats up all the sugar and excretes beneficial bacteria. So this sounds so gross, but it's really amazing and beautiful. God designed some cool systems in the bacterial world. It's just like mind-blowing. So step one into making kombucha is to clean all your tools. Make sure the soap is entirely rinsed off of it. You do not want any soap residue, but you do want clean tools because this helps you avoid contamination. When you're culturing something, you are putting in bacteria. There's good bacteria, there's bad bacteria, just like there is inside our own bodies. But if the bad bacteria have an unfair advantage because your tools are dirty, this is where problems can arise. This is where you can have a bad brew or mold can form, things such as that. We don't want that. We want everything clean. That way we can add in the bacteria and they can go at it. A funny thing, it's like sanitize and then dirty it up. Yeah, with all the bacteria. Please let me know if that makes sense or if I have to explain it further in another video. After the tools are all cleaned, then I fill up my pan with filtered water. Again, important that the water's filtered. And then I brew organic tea. You can do green tea or black tea. I prefer the black. The green, in my experience, tastes a little too effervescent. I didn't really like it. It tasted like dirt. So you brew your tea. Then you add a cup of sugar into your brew and you let the sugar dissolve. At this point, you let it cool down. And the way I like to think of it is if it's too hot for my skin, it's too hot for baby Scoby. And so if I'm not able to hold my pan in my hands, I should not scald my Scoby with this hot tea. I let it cool down. It's warm, but not hot. And once it's cooled down to warm but not hot, I put my sweet tea in with my Scoby and about a cup of previously brewed kombucha. Since I use the continuous brew method, all I have to do is essentially add sweet tea. Add sweet tea. I take kombucha, I add sweet tea. I take kombucha, I add sweet tea. It's so simple when you get into the rhythm of it. Then you put it in your glass jar. Some sources recommend stainless steel. I do not recommend this. It will give your kombucha a weird taste. Take your glass jar, cover it where it can still have airflow, but nothing's gonna get in it. So I like to use a cloth and a rubber band over the cloth. Leave it alone, somewhere dark and not cold, not hot, about a week. And in about a week, you will have kombucha. That's it. It's super simple and kind of odd. By the time your kombucha has brewed, the sugar has mostly been eaten up by your Scoby. So it is not high in the type of sugar that you originally put in it. It's not going to spike your blood sugar like crazy. So if you avoid white sugar, as we do in this house, you need not be afraid of that, even though it takes a little bit of a cognitive shift to go there. You cannot feed kombucha with coconut sugar. You cannot feed it with honey. You can't feed it with stevia. It's not gonna work. You must have white sugar, and I highly recommend that it be organic. Every single time you brew a new batch of kombucha, there's gonna be a new mushroom, a new Scoby, and you can cook with those. You can give them to friends. There's so many things you can do with your Scoby. I never really know what to do with them. I usually compost them, and I have a couple on standby in Scoby hotels. And it's just really a fascinating process because you can see the oldest Scoby at the bottom and then the newer ones. So confession time, I haven't been really good about brewing my kombucha lately, and I kind of just let it go. Well, when we looked at it, there were about 5 Scobies, but that was really incredible. After you've brewed your kombucha, you can enjoy it by flavoring it with other fruit juices or just drinking it straight. I love drinking it straight. You can add some to a little bottle, seal it up, put it in your fridge, and it actually gets fizzy in the fridge if you let it there for a few days. So that is the most delicious way, in my opinion, to enjoy a kombucha, fresh out of the fridge, a little fizzy. Do you have any questions about kombucha? Go ahead and click my kombucha playlist if you want to know more. Are there any other fermented foods that you're interested in? Please let me know in the comments below, and we will see you next week. God bless you. Goodbye.